Okay, hello everyone. I hope you've had a very good week. This is episode 5 of the FE Hit. Today's episode is a little bit different, and it might be fair to say that it could just change the way that you study from here on. Because my guest today is Deirdre Madden, who works in Assistive Technology in UCC. We're going to review some of the latest tools and technology that will assist you with your reading and your writing and your study techniques. So Deirdre, you are very welcome to the FE Hit.
Thanks a million.
Because this episode is going to feature a little bit of show and tell and a demonstration or two, I'm going to put Deirdre in the spotlight, and she's going to be sharing her screen shortly. So I'll just do that now. And Deirdre, you should be able to, when you need to, share your screen. So I suppose assistive technology. So Deirdre, do you want to just explain to us what assistive technology is?
So textbook, pen and paper, traditional teaching and learning and studying tools don't suit everybody the same. And if they don't, we certainly have technology now, either built into our phones, built into Office 365, built into Google, or free to download, that can make our reading, our writing and our studying easier. And this is useful for everybody, for convenience and for choices for how I might learn, read, write or study. Will I get started maybe with some demonstrating it?
Yeah, you should have the power now to
yeah, perfect. And I suppose just before we get into that, it's to say a lot of these tools were developed for people who have reading difficulties or writing difficulties or studying difficulties, but these are applicable to all. These are universally designed for all. And the example I give of that is, have a look at the room that you're in just now. I would bet my kidneys that there's the handle on that door is like a lever handle to open the door. I don't know if any of you are as old as me, and you might remember doorknobs, but doorknobs were very difficult for people who had any problem with their wrists or their grip. An occupational therapist developed this very expensive, very specialized, very unique handle lever for the person who had a problem with their hand. And then it dawned on everybody, well, sure, I can open that door when I'm carrying the baby with my elbow, or if I'm carrying a pile of books, I can open it with my backside. Jeannie Mac, the dog, can even jump up and open that. This is a universally well-designed handle to get in and out of rooms. And what I like about these tools is these are designed to suit a whole variety of needs for writing, reading, and studying. And hopefully now when I get to share my screen, I can show that to you. 1 second, I just need to remember to share the sound so we can hear it all. So I've made a course on free technology to make learning easier, broken down into reading, writing, and studying. And there's a lot of resources on there. I want to illustrate one today because I think everybody in FE has an Office 365 account with their further education college. And in that you have Office 365. And I've logged into Office 365 here and opened Microsoft Word. When I click on View and Immersive Reader, it just helps me focus on just the content that was in that document. More importantly, I can click on Play and it will be read aloud to me.
Applying to Chow. 1. Go online to www.cao.ie and click on Apply.
I can speed up or slow down the voice here. I can change it to a male voice.
Apply. 2. Enter your personal details.
And there are a whole host of tools up here that I can use to make my reading easier as well. I can adjust the size of the text. I can play around with the color scheme, whatever suits an individual student. I can play with the font. I can adjust the spacings. I know I'm going quickly, but in the course, there are videos going through this much more slowly and clearly. In here, it will break down words like communicate that I might struggle with. It will break communicate down into its component parts.
Communicate.
We can even have a translation tool that I'll illustrate, and it gives me an image to help me understand it also. And it will allow me to highlight nouns in a particular color or verbs in a particular color, depending on what I'm studying and what my task is or what the educator's task is. In here, it will help me to focus on single lines and the read.
HEIs to which you apply may wish to communicate with you about your application, and they may contact you by email, post.
And I understand for the podcast, it's hard to picture what's happening as we're going along here. I have logged into Office 365, I've opened a document and I'm clicking on play. It is being read aloud. The word that is being read aloud is being highlighted as it's being read. And I've managed to get a line focus just to help me focus on the single line that is being illustrated here. And there's a picture dictionary that will come up if I'm highlighting a particular word, it gives me an image to help me understand that word, or a variety of images to help me understand that word also. The last tool in here is a translation tool, and it will actually translate into single words. Let's go for maybe French. It has a whole variety of languages illustrated here. It will illustrate, or it will translate single words. So let's see, we find a word for it too. We'll say address. That's not a very good example.
Adresse.
Because it's exactly the same in French. Second, trying to find contact.
Avec. Avec. Données personnelles.
I'm clicking on the word, I'm clicking on the French translation of the word and having it read out loud, but it will also translate the entire document to the language that you've chosen, and you can have that read aloud to you as well.
Postuler à KO. Un palais en ligne sur www.ko.
So for language students, for people who don't have English as their first language, powerful tool. When I come back out of Immersive Reader by clicking on the arrow in the top left-hand corner, I'm going back into my standard document, and just to show you something that would help with writing, when I'm on the home menu, I have a blue microphone over towards the right-hand side called Dictate. First time you click on it, it'll ask, can Microsoft access your microphone? If you want to use it, you have to click on Allow. Then when I click on Dictate, as I begin speaking to the computer, it's actually typing on the screen what I'm saying. Full stop, new line. This tool can even type as quickly as a Cork woman can speak, exclamation mark, new line. This breaks the back of large volumes of written work, full stop. And also for those students who need to think and get their information out as they're thinking, this is a really viable tool, full stop. You can also then go back into Immersive Reader and have what you've dictated, or indeed what you may have typed, read out loud to you. And just to point out in the settings, you can dictate this in English, French, German, Italian, Spanish, 2 different forms of Spanish, and they're working on other languages as we speak. So that's Office 365 that I think all FE,
As I begin speaking.
all FE students have access to.
That's
to show
right,
you
yeah.
writing tools that are built in. And I just want to show you some mind mapping before I show you something on the phone. So myself and James were planning this, and I used an X-Mind mind mapping tool to plan how we were going to structure today's FE hit with James. I did that in about 5 minutes with the mind mapping tool. Built into the mind mapping tool called X-Mind are standard templates for something as simple as a book report, where you have your characters. I'm looking at a visual mind map, brainstorming, spidergram. There's a whole variety of words used for it, where we've got the characters in the book, the plot analysis, the conclusion, the summary, what your favorite part of the book is, do you recommend it, and what are the reasons? And there are yellow note symbols inside in each of those branches of the mind map where the content of that branch is. And for somebody like me, I have dyslexia. When planning and structuring my written work is a huge challenge for me. I can kind of wander off topic sometimes. This helps me stay on task. This helps me stay with an original plan. And just to show you a mind map that a 14-year-old did for studying, for her history, for her junior cert, is a fairly complex mind map on the Renaissance in the junior cert cycle. And she popped in whatever images were going to help her to remember. And you can focus on single branches by drilling down onto, we're doing a single branch now on Leonardo da Vinci. And now I'm just focusing on that branch. You can zoom it in and you can open and close the branches. So we're at Leonardo da Vinci's machines that he invented. And there's tanks, cannons, airplanes, or mirror writing. I can close those and see, can I remember them as part of my look, cover, check study technique. X-Mind is a super tool. There are videos in our course showing you how to plan and structure your written work and export it so that you go from your mind map, say with our book report here, you can export it to a word processor. So we have our plan and our structure for our written piece, excuse me, and you can export that to Microsoft Word or to Google Docs. So I'm just doing the export now. I know I'm going quickly. And you can see it's exported with my mind map is here, but very importantly, my written piece is down here. And anywhere where there was a note, that note is inserted under that heading. So if you have a project, an assignment, an essay, this is a fantastic way to plan it, structure it, lay it out well. And when you export it, I can copy and paste all of that into a Word document. And my written piece is very well laid out, very well structured. It makes it easier to get marks as well. Let me just pull over Microsoft Word onto the screen that I'm sharing. I'm going to open up a blank document and I pasted. So my mind map is there, but you can see under each of the headings where there was the note, where there was that yellow little note symbol, the text content of that note is in under that heading. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing and show you a feature on the phone, James. Is that okay?
Yeah, perfect. Deirdre, great. I think while you're doing that, just to say, like the 365 tool, it's literally within Microsoft Word. It's a click away, and the immersive reader, the range of support that you can get from that, from the reading, from the dictation, it just transforms how you work. You know, if it's, you know, if you're not a natural typer or someone who likes to write things down, it's fantastic use that you can have from. And then the mind mapping, if you're the sort of person that has ideas and just want to put them down, it just like to be able to put them down on a page and then organize them, and it organizes them under those kind of headings is just, it's revolutionary. Like, I mean, I've seen you do this demonstration, and it just makes so much sense that this tool is there for people.
And it's just giving other options, and it might be the one that makes your work take half the time or increases the quality of your work big time. And I use this in my work literally daily. Before I stop sharing the screen and show you the tool on the phone, this course, the link is below, I believe, James. This
it's in the text.
Is called Technology to Make Learning Easier. There's no login or anything. It is on our Canvas virtual learning environment, which is what UCC uses. There's no login or password required for this. But if you even get familiar with using this, if and when you come into us in UCC, you're familiar with Canvas, which is a big advantage to get started with. And I've made many, many, many videos. This is the first video that you can watch to learn how to navigate through the course. There's some little advertising to lure people into the course, but when you click on Start here, this is how the course is laid out. It's broken into sections on technology to make your reading easier, to make your writing easier, to make your studying easier. And then the very important basic IT skills of touch typing and file management in here. I can't stress to you enough how important these are, where we got touch typing and file management. So if you click on those, there's a video taking you through how to get started with touch typing, and all free resources and courses that you are websites that you can use to learn to touch type and to organize your files then into your OneDrive folders, naming them logically. Just to show you, so the one that we just had a look at there under making reading easier, you click on that section. Again, there's another introductory video showing you how you can get your phone to read text to you, whether you're an Android phone user or an iPhone user. And what we did just there is done better and slower and clearer in this video, where it shows you how to access and use Immersive Reader, because I know we're going quite quickly in a nice bite-sized shot today. The next tool I'm going to show you is a tool that will allow you to speak to your Android phone, and it will type what you say. And just to show you that that's in here under getting your Android phone or tablet to type what you say. And the video is in here to show you how to use it. And the link is in here to download it. So I'm just going to stop sharing and show that on my phone here, which is by no ends a high-end phone. So I'll get my thumb to wake that up. So I hope you can see my phone, and I'll come in a little closer now once it starts. I just tap on live transcribe. And then I begin speaking to the phone, and it starts typing what I'm saying almost as quickly as I'm saying it. So you could be walking the dog, thinking of some assignment you've got to get started, and you could be dictating this to the phone, just emptying your head of thoughts to clear up a plan maybe for what it is you want to do in your assignment. And you can copy and paste from this into Immersive Reader, into an email, into Google Docs on your phone, or into Microsoft Word on your phone. It's aimed at the deaf and hard of hearing community, having their conversation transcribed in real time. So please tell anybody who's hard of hearing and struggling with masks that this is a really handy tool for them. But as a writing tool, I find this invaluable. I hope that could be seen on the screen, James.
It was crystal clear. It's remarkable the speed with which that was picking up what you were saying. You know,
For nothing, literally costs nothing.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Like and like I said, for nothing, just a few clicks away, a simple app you can download. And like you said there, like all of that is demonstrated, and all the links to the resources, the names of the resources, it's all on the website, and that's all in the text that is in the email I've sent you, or in the text below the video or the podcast online. So Deirdre, there's huge amounts in there that are potential game changers for people in the way that they're going about their work. So thank you for that. We'll digest that. But in keeping with how we've ended all of our previous podcasts with previous guests, I'm not going to let you off without answering a few quick fire questions. So normally just to get to know people a little bit more after so much time being online and apart from others. So question number one, Deirdre, what's your favorite film?
I love a film called Shine that came out in the 90s with Geoffrey Rush. But for the lovely light-hearted stuff, maybe the Blues Brothers.
Excellent. Okay. What would be your perfect menu, perfect meal?
Oh, anything in Cafe Paradiso's down the road here, but that's a real treat occasion. I love Italian food as well. I'm going out for Italian tonight, so you've put me in a good mood for that.
Lovely, lovely. And then finally, the best bit of advice that you were ever given?
There's lots of them when you're as old as me, but I think take some time in your day to be grateful, because even when things are really hard or you're really tough, there'll be one or two things in that day that I'm grateful for, and it kind of balances out me focusing on the negative too much.
Lovely. That's nice. That's nice. That's great. So look, we've got to the end of the latest episode. Deirdre, thank you so much. It has been
thank you.
Enlightening in so many respects, and captivating as well, just to listen to it. And all the links to that assistive tech is in the text below the podcast, or it's in the email I sent you. And like I said, it's a real revolutionizing kind of tools that you can just have a look at them, because there'll be some use for everyone in there. So check it out. Thank you all for listening today. Remember to follow the weekly podcast. There'll be another one next week. It's on YouTube. It's on the audio link on Podbean. So that's all for now. Stay safe, everyone. Remember to check your emails, and I will see you next time. Thanks very much.